this is Tan from Artemis Oracle. I'm going to do a new moon in Taurus reading for all the signs. I'm going to start off with Aries and work my way to Pisces. So it's going to be a very quick message. So first, before I start, I want to do a quick overview about what the new moon in Taurus is and what, what you can consider during this time before we move into the next new moon, which will be in Gemini. All right, so in my notes, I wrote down that the new moon in Taurus is a time to consider what you value and who values you. It's also a time to consider starting a financial plan, looking at your financial goals and seeing in what areas that you can improve, what areas do you need to really strengthen, especially when it comes to wanting to save, planning for any big purchases or vacations or a house, anything like that. So you're gonna have to start a plan if you haven't done so already, and if you have, it's time for you to look at the plan and see how it's working and whether it's gonna allow you to reach your final goal, whatever it is, But this is also a time for you to really consider how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth. Is there anything that you feel like you need to work on, and what ways you can improve so that you feel completely worthy? Because regardless of what's going on in our lives, there may be certain things that bother us that we feel like kind of make us feel like, I don't know, like it kind of makes us feel like we're not worthy. You can feel like wherever you're working, it may not be the best job for you. You feel like you're not being valued, you're not being appreciated. So you may consider start looking for another job where you will feel that way, or a job that will compensate you for your skills, properly compensate you. If it's all a matter of the way you look, this is a time to think about what habits have you been, what are your habits, and in what ways you can improve them so that they could help improve your sense of self, the way you look at yourself, the way you do you think you're beautiful? Do you think you're attractive? Do you like the way your body looks? Okay, so I don't like this part. I like this part. I don't like that. And the areas that you don't like, those are the areas that you need to focus on, So this may be a good time for you to invest in a gym membership, possibly hiring a trainer, or, going to some studio, yoga, Pilates, stuff that, can help boost your self-esteem. Also, this is a time to know that, if you're trying to manifest. If you're trying to manifest money, more abundance into your life, you have to feel like you're worthy of receiving the abundance you want. So if you have any type of thing where you feel like you're not worthy, that can interfere with what it is you're trying to manifest. So it's something that you're going to have to work on, and it's hard because we're humans. Sometimes it's like, damn, I gotta remember to do this, but yeah, and you have to remember, you have to take care of yourself. It's a habit that you're going to have to create for yourself so that you feel good about yourself, so that you can love yourself, And remember, the more you love yourself, the more people are going to love you. And I'm not saying to do it for people to love you. It's just, it makes life easier when people like you, And it's not because you're being inauthentic. It's about you being high vibrational, and that attracts people of the same caliber. So you don't want to be feeling like this, but then you're going to be attracting that. If you're down here, you're going to be attracting that because that's the level you're at. But when you're here, you're going to be attracting people that are at the same level. So it's the same thing with manifestation. You have to be at the level at which your manifestation exists, the vibrational level that your manifestation exists. So if you want to manifest crap, guess what? Be in the bottom. Be with crap. Be the crap. Be all the way to the floor. Oh my God, I was to think about that song from To the window, to the floor. Well, I gotta stop. It's supposed to be serious. But reality, yeah. If you want crap, you'd be in the level crap will exist. You don't see crap floating in the air. You know, you see it on the floor. So that's where you'll be. If you want like money, you want status, you want prestige, you have to be at those levels, vibrational levels, you know, whatever you consider those prestige and status to be, you know. But just so you know, we're going to have the full moon in Scorpio, and that's in May 12th. And Scorpio is the opposite sign of Taurus. So there's like some balance there. But also, I'd even bring out the cards. So the Moonology cards are prosperity lies ahead. So, you know, Taurus rules the second house. Second house of material wealth, money, finances, self-worth. And know your worth. So this is a time to know that as long as you know you are worthy, the prosperity that you wish for, that you're wishing to manifest, is going to come to you. But remember, you have to be at the vibrational level to receive it. So I wanted to bring out the full moon cards because I feel like it's just like a reminder for you that, you know, full moon in Scorpio, it says it's time to release negativity. Negativity can weigh you down. If you think about it, when you feel happy, you feel a lot of joy, you don't feel heavy. You feel light. You feel like you're floating in the air, like you're on a cloud, like cloud 9. But if you're feeling negative and stuff, you're like, you feel dragged down, like you're being pulled down. You feel heavy. You feel like gravity is like just pulling you down, like holding you down in some way, like you're wearing concrete shoes. So if you're trying to manifest whatever it is you're manifesting, especially with this time, with it being in the house of wealth, the new moon in Taurus, it's important for you to remember to kind of try to maintain a positive vibration. And of course, we're going to go through things that are stressful, that are always going to test us and stuff. And that's normal. But it's all a matter of how long do you stay in that energy. Don't allow yourself to stay in that energy for too long. You know, don't lose yourself in that energy. And right here, we have the full moon in Scorpio. So it's breathe through the tension, you know. So whenever you're going through a situation, like during this new moon period, as we transition into the full moon, this is the time to really take time to breathe, you know, release any tension, any stress that you're feeling. And I know, like, it's easy for me to say, but I know I'm not a robot. I understand completely, because I don't want to say this, but because naturally as a Scorpio, I know what it's like to be at the bottom. You know, like always feel the negativity, the heaviness and stuff. And I don't like it. I got sick of being like that, you know. But once you start to experience joy and stuff, and you're able to learn the best techniques for you to release any anxiety and stress from your life, then you will start to like how you feel when you're not weighed down by negativity, you know. You feel freer, you feel more alive, you feel like I said, cloud 9, you know, like you're floating on air. Oh, I like that song. Floating on air. That's from Curly. So yeah, so now we're gonna go into the Moonology messages. I'm gonna go into this Moonology messages deck, and we're gonna go from Aries to Pisces. Well, since it's the new moon in Taurus, we're going to focus more on finances and worth, self-worth. So let's see what the messages have to say for Aries. What message do we have for Aries? Okay, truth. All right, so this may be a time for you, Aries, to really consider any truths that you have to really accept. You know, is there anything that you, when it comes to finances, are there any changes that you have to make? Are you having any habits that are kind of hindering you from saving or building wealth? Or are you unwilling to face any of the insecurities that you have, you know? Are there some things that you're not willing to face? I think that with you being able to face any of the truths that you may be currently in denial, or that you are currently denying, that will allow you to elevate, you know, during this time. It will allow you to ascend to whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, so that you can reach your level. Because, you know, if truth is coming up, there must be something that you're denying yourself. Are you depriving yourself of something for some reason or another? I think that if you have been depriving yourself of something, it's time for you to consider what is the reason why you're depriving yourself, and in what way is it hindering you from ascending, if it is. You know, is it helping you or is it hurting you? I think, you know, is it hurting your self-esteem, or is it hurting your wallet? Is it hurting your savings? Is it hurting your finances in any way, you know? So I think that's the message for you, Aries. Okay. What message do we have for Taurus, Spirit? Taurus. What message do we have for Taurus? I hope you're all doing well. I should have said that in the beginning. Okay, abundance. Ooh, Taurus. Okay, so abundance, domicile moon. Okay. Abundance. I think that whatever it is that you're currently working on, it's showing you that there's some type of results. You're yielding results. You're seeing results. And that abundance is on its way. So that, but if there is something that, you know, you are struggling with, it's time for you to consider what may be blockages, what may be holding you back. Are you experiencing some sort of stagnancy in any way that may be hindering you from, you know, reaching that goal of what you consider to be abundance? Getting something with the root chakra and the solar plexus. I think as long as you remain grounded and confident in yourself, the abundance that you are hoping to manifest for yourself, and whatever endeavor that you're in, you know, working towards creating, that is what is going to allow you to reach the level of abundance that you're hoping to attain. So remember to be centered and grounded. Remember to have confidence in yourself, and know that whatever it is that you want, you are worthy of receiving. Okay, Taurus? All right, so let's go to Gemini. Where's that book at? Let me see something. Gemini. Strength, Yang Moon. Okay, so Yang Moon, the strength is about, this is about you employing your masculine energy. This may be you having to really pull on your masculine side to go towards any actions that you're trying to receive some financial gain with, or with what you're working towards when it comes to your self-worth in some way. This is definitely about masculine energy, because the Yang is the masculine energy. This is you having to know that you're strong and that you are capable of. This has to do with self-worth. Yeah. Don't give up on yourself. Know that as long as you are consistent with your actions and you are steadfast and moving towards whatever you need to do, like you're very focused on what you're doing, and you're focused and consistent, you will be able to achieve whatever it is. But you know, you had to Have to be strong with your mind and not let any negativity get in the way of you, or let anything deter your will. And don't let anyone try to make you feel like you're not strong enough to achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve. You know, I think it's about you grounding yourself, but in your masculine energy, because Gemini, you're both the masculine and the feminine. You know, you have the duality of that. The twins with the twins. So the yin and yang, you know. So this is about you now going into your masculine energy to get whatever it is that you want. Know that you have the strength within you to persevere, whatever it is. And even if it is some type of obstacle that you will be able to overcome it. But just as long as you remain confident and understand how strong your will is, how strong your desire is, how strong your how strong you are, essentially. This is all about your mental strength, your emotional strength, your physical strength, your courage. You know, this is you going into yourself and seeing all those strong aspects of yourself and not denying it anymore. Know that you are worthy. You are worthy, you know. Let your faith be strong in that. Right, that's your message, Gemini. Okay. Oops. What about Cancer? For the Cancerians. What message does the Cancerians need to know? Cancer. Transformation. During this time, you may be going through some sort of transformation, some sort of change. You may be trying to change something about yourself so that you can feel a bit more confident, or you're trying to make some changes so that you can create the kind of home environment where you feel safe and secure, and that you can be your full nurturing self. The thought that came into my head was nesting. So some of you may be finding out you're pregnant, and that's if you can get pregnant. If you're someone who can get pregnant, you may be finding out you're pregnant, and your life is going to be changing in that way. And you're maybe already in the phase where you're trying to nest and create a nice home environment to prepare yourself and your family and the home to welcome in a new baby. And that's where the transformation may be coming from, you know. Some of you, if you are trying to get pregnant, you may look into some type of rituals that moon rituals that will help you with with getting pregnant. You know, you can work with the moon cycles. You could look at I'd say take a look at your menstrual cycle. Look at your menstrual cycles to see now and from the past, to see if you see any inconsistencies or any changes. And if you haven't already been going to a doctor, if you have been having troubles with your period, you may consider going to a doctor just to get yourself checked, just to make sure that everything is okay. And then you can start to look into any rituals that can help you with getting pregnant, because it says moon magic. And when I think of Cancer, I just thought of it, the thought that popped into my mind was pregnancy, family, mother. You may be having some change in your relationship with your mother. You know, you may have had some issues with your self-esteem because of, you know, mother issues. So at this time, you may be transforming your relationship with your mother. There may be some changes, maybe some improvements that are coming along within your relationship with your mother at this time. And maybe she if they're still living, are able to, you know, maybe they'll be able to help you understand where they were coming from, and maybe there could be some mending, some positive change in your relationship. Or I don't want to think the negative, but because we want to be positive. So, you know, if you were having a hard time, you had a difficult relationship with your mother, that may be changing at this time. You know, if that's something that you want, if that's something that's still possible for you. And even if your mother has passed, it might be a time for you to do a ritual where you can kind of release any of the emotions that you have, you know. That might be a good thing to do during the full moon in Scorpio, so that, you know, you could remove any blockages that can be interfering with different parts of your life, especially if you are a mother yourself, and that it may help with improving your relationship with your children. I don't know. I just got that message, Cancer. So if that may not resonate with everybody, but men, you know, people have mothers, you know. So if you have a difficult relationship with your mother, you may be able to mend it in some way. There may be some sort of transformation. Some of the people who can get pregnant, that may be a possibility. And yeah, that's something. So something transformative might be happening. So, you know, just giving you that. Right? So I hope that was helpful in some way, Cancer. Okay, now we're gonna go into Leo. Leo. What's just this Leo need to know? Oh, you got 2 cards. Oh, you got transformation. And you saw me shuffle. You saw me. The synchronicity. So there may be something that you're working on, Leo, that you've been working on over time, but it's like everything is falling into place. It's like everything is synchronous. It's like serendipitous in some way, because, and it's so interesting how these cards both have the crescent moons. I have the waning crescent to the waxing crescent. I think this is the waxing crescent and this is the waning crescent. Yeah, I feel like there's something that you're working on, and it's like everything is falling into place. So you may be seeing some changes during this time, 22, as I'm saying it. You're going to be seeing some changes at this time. And it's like whatever magic you've been working, and it could be literal magic, or you're just being your fabulous self, Leo. It could just be that you're really starting to see results, and you're seeing the transformation happening before your eyes. That's what I heard. So it's like everything is falling into place for you. So whatever you're doing, just keep doing it, and remember to stay your strong, courageous self. Know that you are worthy. Don't allow any imposter syndrome to take over at this time, as you're getting closer to whatever it is you're manifesting. That's really, you know, coming. You're really seeing like everything fall into place. Like the timing is like divine timing. Everything is happening when it's supposed to, you know. So don't allow any thoughts of unworthiness or unreadiness to kind of hinder this as it's happening, because something's happening right now. Everything is falling into place. Everything is in sync for you at this time, you know. Ooh, that's wonderful, Leo. Okay, Virgo. What messages does Virgo need to know? What messages does Virgo need to know? That card. Oh, seek healing. Oh, no. Oh, wow. That card suits you. Because if you haven't been already, you might be going into hermit mode. You may be at this point where you need to be healing from something. You may be needing to take a break. And, you know, this is the right time to do that too. Because during the full moon in Libra, you were asked to be more generous. We have to be more generous. We have to be more sharing. We have to be, you know, give to ourselves and make sure we're giving to others and not be selfish. But maybe you've probably were being a little too generous, Virgo. So now you're tired and you need a break. So this may be a time for you to take self-care, to indulge yourself. You know, go get a manicure, a pedicure, a massage, a facial, get your hair done, get your hair did. You know, just do something that is just for you. It could be taking a bubble bath. It doesn't have to be like you have to go pay for something. It could just be you you know, having your lazy day, having your snacks and just Netflixing and chilling on your own under a nice cozy hooded blanket, you know what I mean? So I think this is what it's asking for you. And this is only if it resonates. You know, if you overextended yourself during the full moon in Libra, you were giving, and now you're tired. So now it's time for you to take care of yourself and rest, you know, because you are worth it. You are worthy of taking a rest. You don't have to feel like you have to work, you know, and don't feel bad if you feel like, you know, like some people, they can't rest because they feel bad because they're not doing anything. No, I don't think that's you though, because you know, you could go into hermit mode. So I think right now, hermit mode is about to be activated for you if you need it. Okay. So if that's the case, don't feel bad. You know, that's how you take care of yourself. You know, if you need to recharge your batteries, then do that. That's what you need to do. You don't need my permission. Okay, Libra. What messages do we have for Libra? Process your feelings. How come the first thing that somebody did or said something to you that kind of made you question your self-worth? And I think at this time, this is where you need to process your feelings. Do you care really about what they said? Like, did what they say? No, my throat is getting tickling. I don't like it. Did somebody say something that hurt you? But think about it. Did what they say hurt you because it's true? Or because or did it hurt you because you think it's true? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes people say things just to be mean, and then some people kind of trigger us because they kind of hit the nail on the head. Like, did they say something that was true, or was it not true? You know, why did it upset you? So if it did upset you because they said it, ask yourself, is what they said the truth? If it is, let it go, let it fly. You know, if it's not, if it's not, if it is the truth, then you need to understand, okay, he or she or they said something to me, it hurt me, but it's true. Now you have to understand, okay, yeah, it's true, but understand why you feel that way. If it's true, if it hurt your feelings, then you have to process your feelings, but then you also have to think about what you can change, so that if someone says something like that again, it isn't true anymore, and then you won't ever feel that way again. I hope that made sense. You know, howl at the moon. Howl at the moon. Yeah. And also, like, if you're feeling overwhelmed, overstressed, like you've been like holding in any emotions, this is the time to just go out there and go, "Arr!" You know, "Arr!" And the funny thing, you know what? If you need to process your feelings and you're having a hard time, listen to the Shakira song, the She Wolf. She's a she wolf in the sky, so woo. I do the real wolf sound better than Arr! Sorry, Libra. Okay, so yeah, if somebody said something, I'm sorry. That popped, I saw something a couple days ago, and it says howl at the moon. Maybe you needed this laugh. You know, maybe you needed it. Maybe you needed a way to release whatever, you know, it's just like really pent up in you. But know that, you know, do whatever you need to do. If you need to howl at the moon, go do it. If you need to watch a stupid or listen to a stupid song and just laugh the anger, the rage, the depression away, whatever, the sadness away, then do that. You know, but just allow yourself to process your feelings. Don't hold your feelings in, because all that does is make you sick. And we don't want you to be sick, Libra. We need you to impart justice, and we need you to have a very clear head. We need you to be balanced. Okay, Libra? All right, we need you. All right, I'm sorry, Libra. Okay, now I'm going into Scorpio. I hope that was helpful, Libra. Scorpio. Meant to be. moon called. Okay, so whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, it's like it's happening. It's meant to be. It's like the stars are aligning. That made me think of the song from Lindsey Sterling, which is one of my favorite songs, Stars Align. I think it was part of the, I don't know if it was her, Artemis, When the Stars Align, Transcendence. I think it was her first album. It's like something is happening and everything is, I feel like somebody had this with divine timing. Like something is happening. I think it's Leo. It's like whatever it is you're calling for, it's going to happen when it's meant to happen. So it could be something that you're calling in now, and you're probably at this place where you feel so worthy. You feel like you could have anything you want whenever you want, and not in a egomaniac type of way. I wanted to say megalomaniac, but I don't think that's a word. But egomaniac way, egomaniacal way. I don't think it's that. I think it's just that you're like at this place where you feel like anything that you want, you could call it to you. You could call it to you, and you're just at that stage that everything you want will just like align to you, because you're at this stage where it's like you let it all go, and you're at this place where you're wanting to receive. You have your arms open and you're ready to receive. You've overcome any sadness, disappointment in the past, but it's like you've released it all, and you're like, hit me with your best shot, universe. Give me what it is I want. Give me what it is I need. Give it to me. You know? I think it's like you're understanding that all good things good things come to those who wait. So that's why I feel like this card is, and I love that the purple is there. I feel like this has to do with your third eye. Your third eye may be opening. You may be more in tune with the universe. You may be seeing things, hearing things, and you're allowing yourself to be guided. You know, it's like you release control and you're trusting the universe has your back. That's what I'm getting from this, Scorpio. So whatever it is that you're calling for, it's like you know you're worthy, and that whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. I feel like that's what your message is, Scorpio. Okay, so I hope that resonates. Now, Sagittarius. What message do we have for Sagittarius? What message do we have for Sagittarius? My music. Oh, slow it down, and that's Moonstone and the Law of Attraction. Let me put my music on really quickly. With the Law of Attraction, it's all about you being in that vibrational state to receive whatever it is that you're calling for. It's about you attract what like attracts like. But if this has to do with, I don't know, for some reason the relationship came to my mind. Like, okay, maybe you met somebody that you felt like is like part of your soul family, like someone that you feel so like connected with, but it's like you probably want to take things, you want to do things fast. I think what this is saying is that yes, you attracted this person, you attracted this thing. It doesn't have to be a person, it could be a thing. And okay, now it's time for you to slow down, you know, because sometimes when we get the thing that we want, and then we just like, with it, and then we're like, oh, this is boring, I don't want it anymore. I think what the universe is saying is that you need to slow down, take your time, enjoy the process, enjoy the receiving, enjoy what it is that is coming to you. At least enjoy the journey, Don't rush things, because you don't want the novelty of something to fade before anything can really solidify or stabilize, if you know what I mean. I feel like, you know, you're learning how to attract, because it says moon mastery. I think you're understanding how to attract what it is you want, to manifest whatever it is you want, but you have to be very careful that you don't, I don't want to say be greedy, but you can be greedy, because we're living in an infinite, like, I mean, like, I know certain things are finite, you know, certain resources are finite, but certain things are limitless. And if you, well, we can't think about things being limited, because I think that's what stops us from wanting to manifest things, because we're like, oh, there's not a lot of that. No, that's where that's where the law of attraction works. Like, you don't think about how many red BMWs exist. If you want a red BMW, you're going to get a red BMW. You just got to do whatever it is you need to do to get the red BMW, you know, to align with the red BMW, regardless if there's just 5. You know, you think there's 5, but you don't know there's like a 6th one hidden, you know, like, because that's how it works, you know. But because we don't know everything, but I feel like you're understanding how to attract things, but it's about you slowing down, because you don't want to be inundated with so many manifestations that when you receive it, you're like, I didn't ask for this, but you did like 12 days ago, but you're busy manifesting other things, and you didn't realize that, or you forgot that you manifested something. So I feel like that's what it is. And I used 12 days ago. It's just like, just a random number. So that the 12th may be significant to you. Your birthday may be on the 12th, Sagittarius. But, you know, well, your birthday is December. So, but it could be December 12th, just to be specific, or December 3rd. Yeah, so I feel like that's what the universe is asking for you, to slow down. Yes, you learn how to manifest stuff, but kind of slow down, because you want to be able to enjoy what it is that you're manifesting, and not like become like so manifestation hungry that you start manifesting this and that, and then when those things start to come, it's like, oh my God, where are all these things coming from? Why do I have so many options? Why this, why that, you know? So I think that's what this message is for you, Sagittarius. I mean, like, it's wonderful to be able to understand how to manifest, but you also want to be able to enjoy and appreciate and be grateful for whatever it is that you're manifesting, you know, because you want to be manifesting the right things, not trivial things, you know. So I feel like that's the message for you, Sagittarius. I hope that helps. Okay, Capricorn. What messages does Capricorn need to know, spirits? We're almost near the end. I tried so hard and got so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. In the end, it doesn't even matter. I put my trust in you. Just as far as I can go. All this is only one thing you should know. Alright, I don't know why I had to sing that entire part, because I'm thinking, it says slow it down. Okay, the fact that that song came out in my mind at the end. I feel like maybe you've gone through things in the past where you've like rushed, because this card came out again, and you saw me shuffle. I mixed all I separated the other cards, and I shuffle, but this one came out for you. Let me see what's in the bottom. Do nothing. Okay, in the end, it doesn't matter. I feel like maybe you've been overworking yourself. You feel like you've been putting in a lot of effort, and that you haven't seen the results. But I think the reason why is because you're doing too much. You're doing too much for no reason. I think what the universe wants you to do is to just relax, you know, relax, take care of yourself. And like the song, in the end, it doesn't matter. I try so hard, got so far, in the end, it doesn't matter. It's like, you've been, yeah, that's normal though. That's like a Capricorn thing, the overworking, the workaholic. I think what you're being asked to do is to take a break, take time for yourself. You know, your worth isn't tied to your productivity. You know, you don't always have to work so hard. You know, I feel like what you're being asked to do is to take time to take care of yourself. Slow down, relax, breathe. Breathe, Capricorn. You don't have to do everything. You know, take time for yourself. You know, go like nurture yourself. Go get a massage. You know, do something that makes you feel good. Take a break. You know, because you've been working very hard. Slow down. You're gonna burn out if you don't. You don't want to reach that point where something happens to you because you're overworking. So right now, as much effort as you've been putting, especially if you've been working a lot because you want to get money, because that came into my mind. King of Pentacles is Taurus, but that's earth sign energy, and you're just trying to get the bag. And no, you also got to be able to enjoy what's in the bag. You know, you don't want to have a bag and then you're dead. You know, slow down, do nothing, learn how to do nothing. You've done enough already. Take a break, okay? That's your message, Capricorn. Take a break. Because in the end, it's not going to matter if you're dead. You know, take care of yourself. Take a break. Go on vacation. Shit, if you've been overworking, I'm pretty sure you have enough annual leave, vacation time to take a break. You know? You don't have to burn what they say, don't burn the candle on both ends, because in the end, you ain't gonna, like in the end, you're not gonna have anything. You're gonna be too tired to enjoy the fruits of your labor, you know? So take time now. You've done enough already, Capricorn. Okay, please take a break. I don't want anything to happen to you. Promise me? Pinky promise? Okay. Aquarius. 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 Strength. All right, Aquarius. Right now, in Aquarius, you're so strong. I just want to say that you're so strong. Out of the Aquarius I know, very strong. I just thought of one of my friends right now. We haven't really hung out or anything, but so strong. You're so strong, Aquarius. But sometimes you have to soften it a little bit, you know? I feel like even though this card is saying Yang Moon, I feel like you have to go in the opposite way. Now, if you know you've been in your feminine energy, you've been giving and nurturing and loving, this may be the time for you to now employ your masculine energy and start to take some actions, you know, and yeah, really employ that masculine part of yourself, the go-getter part of you, you know. But if it's the opposite, where you've been like running and working, this may be the time for you to take a break, to take care of yourself, take care of your needs, take care of, your self-care. Take self-care. But even men need self-care too. You know, if you're masculine energy, if this is you as a masculine energy, and maybe this is asking for you to take time. You know, you could be strong but still take care of yourself. You could be strong and still take a break. Just because you had to sit down and kind of like ground yourself, that doesn't make you any less of a masculine, you know. And I'm talking to the masculine males, or masculines who have been putting in a lot of work or a lot of effort. Like I mentioned to Capricorn, you're self-worth isn't tied to your productivity. It isn't tied to your masculinity too, you know? So know that regardless, you are worthy, Aquarius. And for me to be saying that to an Aquarius, and this must be like an Aquarius that really needs to hear that. You know, maybe you haven't heard or felt supported in a long time, and you feel like you had to really like put up this demeanor that you're strong and nothing phases you. But you are allowed to have those moments where you can just sit down and just like, oh, I'm tired, I need a break. You know, you're allowed to feel that way, you know. And I'm talking to those who just like had to constantly be doing and working and not being able to take time for themselves. This is saying that yes, you've been working hard, but you are also worthy of having a break. You know, it's kind of like a carryover message from Capricorn too, because Capricorn is overworking and is being told to sit their ass down and do nothing, you know. But you probably are at this place where you've been holding on, you know, you've been showing, maybe you have been more so in your feminine energy, but that could also be a strength too, you know, because, you know, though the feminine energy is in the receiving mode, but still she does actions that are feminine, that are caring, that are loving, that are nurturing, and that can be a strength too. So regardless of how this resonates, where you're a masculine who has been overworking, it's time for you to take care of yourself. If you're a feminine who has been overworking and you've been overextending yourself and you feel like you're not worthy or you're not strong enough, yes, you are strong enough, because that is your strength. Your love is your strength. Your nurturing is your strength. The way you care is a strength. You know, strength shows itself in different forms, you know, but that doesn't make it any less a strength, you know, because we all have our strengths and our weaknesses, you know. And if you find that you're feeling like you are weak, no, you're just tired right now. Take a break, okay? And know you're worthy. If also there's something that you're working on, oh wow, because I haven't said the next sign, focus. If there's something that you're working on, however your approach is, it's a strength, you know, but it's asking for you to also be focused, you know. Moonbeams, focus your energy towards what it is that you want, and not towards things that you don't, things that have been draining you in some way. Okay, so now we're going into Pisces. Can we get a message for Pisces? Pisces. 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 Go for it. Whatever it is that you want, go for it. If it's that job, go for it. Reach for the moon. Whatever you want is within reach. You just have to go for it. You have to believe. You know, sometimes there are jobs that we look at and we're like, wow, I think I'll be good, but I don't have this, or I don't think I could do that. I'm gonna give you a little tip. I don't know if many people know this, or maybe you don't, and maybe that's why I'm having to say it. Sometimes they put things in job descriptions that sound scary, and it's because they try to scare off people who don't, who are afraid of scary tasks. So there may be something there that might scare you on a job posting that you're possibly looking at, and I don't know why I'm going to jobs, so it could be about that. You don't let that frighten you. You know, if it does, maybe that's something that you need to work on. You know, if that job has one or two things that you're like, I don't think I could do that, that's too hard, maybe that's a challenge for you to go for it and see if you can do it. That's where you see growth. That's where you see change. That's where you see transformation. That's where you see how strong and amazing you are, Pisces, you know. And the fact that you are a Piscean, you will most likely find a creative, imaginative way to solve problems. And so whatever that thing is that's scary on that job posting, because I don't know, for some reason I got job posting in my mind, go for it and see how you can tackle it. Like, what approach? You will learn something about yourself along the way, you know. So don't let your fear hold you back. I feel like that's your message, Pisces. Don't let your fear hold you back from reaching for whatever it is that you want. Reach for the stars, reach for the moon, reach for whatever it is you want, because you are worthy, you are capable, you are creative, and your imagination is what is going to be a strength in whatever you do. And you have to understand that about yourself. So if there's something that you feel like you're not worthy of doing, or you feel like you're not capable of doing, but you have the qualifications, go for it. Especially if it's something that you want. If you don't want it, then forget about it. But we're talking about what you want. If there's something that you want, then there's something that you definitely have to go towards. Go for it, you know? Don't allow your fears to hold you back. Know that you have what it takes to do whatever it is you want to do, and to ascend in whatever level in this 3D world that you want to ascend to. You're capable of doing that. Okay? So that's it for the messages. I hope this reading resonates with all of you in some way or another. Please feel free to watch your sun, moon, rising signs, because there may be messages that may resonate with you there. I also wanted to mention that I placed an order on Otter Spirit, and I purchased some bracelets, and one of them I purchased in the wrong size. So I want to do a giveaway, and it's going to be for subscribers. And so if you're interested in entering the giveaway, please let me know. I'm going to let you see what the bracelet is. It's the amethyst bracelet. And it says, I am letting go of fear and embracing peace. So that's what the intention is for the bracelet, for amethyst. So it comes in this pouch, and inside has the bracelet. It's a size small bracelet. So you may be able to, if you're able to wear a size small, you could keep it for yourself. If you win the giveaway, you could also gift it to someone. It's a really beautiful bracelet. It's really pretty. When I send it out, I will cleanse it. I will wipe it. It won't have any fingerprints. It won't have any DNA. And I'll cleanse it with sage. So if you're interested in entering the giveaway, you have to be a public subscriber. So that means I have to be able to see that you're subscribed to my channel. And you also have to give this video a like. Also comment what your big 3 is in the comment section, and that's how you will enter. You can also have multiple entries, but you will have to watch other videos and leave a comment that's with a purple heart, just to let me know, and then I'll use that as an entry. So that'll be an added entry for you. So you're allowed to have up to 3 entries. A maximum of 3 entries to enter the giveaway. So that means watch 3 videos, including this one, and leave up your big 3 in this video. So your sun, moon, or rising sign in the comment section, and that'll let me know that you're interested in entering the giveaway. And then in 2 other videos, you just have to give me the purple heart emoji, and that will let me know that you want to enter the giveaway. And I think the giveaway will end on May 12th when we have the full moon in Scorpio. That's me, Scorpio. And then yeah, so good luck to those who enter. Remember, you have to be a public subscriber. I have to be able to see that you are subscribed to my channel. Leave your big 3, your top 3, sun, moon, and rising in the comments, and purple hearts in 2 other videos. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'm wishing you a wonderful week ahead. Take care. Bye.